Thank you for watching me on YouTube. As always, I present myself as an honest, unapologetic voice out there for those who are willing to listen. I usually talk about issues facing my community, the government, and of course the corrupt mainstream media. Clearly, the Republican Party is in trouble. With a weak presidential field, the Republicans have no serious contender against President Barack Obama.
Breaking news, it's Election Day, and we are closely watching the key swing state of Ohio. Two hot-button issues on the ballot there. Here are the results. Voters have defeated the state's new collective bargaining law that John Kasich liked. This was an expensive union-backed campaign that pitted public workers against Governor Kasich. Ohio voters also, though, rejecting the individual mandate portion of President Obama's health care overhaul law. This is considered a troubling sign for the president in keeping Ohio a year from now in the general elections. Well, Ron Paul is watching these results very closely. He's trying to replace President Obama and, in fact, has now said the president's new spate of executive orders on the economy is effectively making him an elected dictator. He joins us now. I want to get to that comment in a moment, but what do you think of Ohioans rejecting Obamacare, essentially?
Well, I think that's good and that's healthy. It's just too bad we don't apply that principle to about everything Washington does. You know, we'd like to opt out, and that's what they're saying. They don't want to be pushed in. But when you think about how many other things that we're pushed into, you know, this is really minor. And the whole idea, though, is this doesn't have the effect of law, so we have a long way to go. But I don't like the use of force. I like voluntarism. That's what a free society is supposed to be all about.
Well, you like voluntarism. You don't see much of it coming from the White House. In fact, you called the president recently an elected dictator. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, a couple weeks ago, he announced, well, Congress is too slow. They don't move fast enough. So he was very bold about it. He says, I'm going to pass my legislation, you know, one piece at a time, you know, and his stimulus package. I'll write an executive order every week. I mean, that is arrogant. I mean, it is flaunting the Constitution and the whole principles of how we're supposed to operate. Even though these executive orders have been around for a long time, and I've complained about them a long time, but the idea that they can just do this and take over the legislative function and brag about it, and Congress does nothing and the courts do nothing, very, very bad.
But the word dictator, I mean, that's a pretty strong word.
Well, you know, if he writes these laws and he doesn't do it the right way, he's certainly verging on that direction. But and you even qualified that when you read the quote. He's verging on that. He's moving in that direction. He's dictatorial, is what he is. But this is what our government's all about. This is what when Congress does get around to passing laws, they're dictatorial too. Everybody's telling the people what to do. The whole process for many, many decades, this is what the whole taxing system is about. Dictating and dictatorial and telling people what to do with their lives. And
how would you change things?
Well, you can't. You have to change it by changing people's minds. But I think that's what's happening. I think this is why we have a Tea Party movement going out there, and people are demonstrating because they're sick and tired of what they're being dictated to. Just like the people in Ohio, they were tired of being dictated. You have to buy this insurance. So the people's attitudes are changing. The Congress has to change. We have to have a new president that maybe believes in the Constitution to quit doing the things that are illegal. But this whole principle that the executive branch as well as the judicial branch can write law, that has to be challenged.
Ron Paul on Fox News Sunday yesterday, and I apologize, I don't know if we have it. Do we have it? Okay, let's go ahead and run that and have Bob react.
If they believe in expanding the wars, if they don't believe in looking at the Federal Reserve, if they don't believe in real cuts, if they don't believe in deregulations and a better tax system, it would defy everything I believe in. And so therefore I would be reluctant to jump on board and tell all the supporters that have given me trust and money that all of a sudden say, oh, all we've done is for naught, so this support anybody.
Significant statement.
Well, it's a significant statement. There's some fear that he might run as a third. I don't believe that. But if he decides to stay out, he has got a committed 7% the voters in this country who believe him, and if he sits on the sidelines, they sit on the sidelines. That hurts Republicans.
Yeah, this is what's wrong with Ron Paul right there, because everyone else in the field says, look, if I don't win, I'm supporting the Republican, conservative or not, just like all that. And I'll be out there if it's Mitt Romney.
I think Huntsman said he wouldn't.
Okay, well, I said conservative or not, and Republican. Huntsman, I wouldn't characterize.
Fair point.
But here he is saying, if it's not me, then it's none of you guys. Forget it. I'm out of it. You know what? That doesn't go. By the way, 7%. I'm going to sell that number.
Well, if he's not going to support the Republican, then take him out of the Republican debates if he's so anti.
That's a great point.
Party.